They look at me like, wow, I didn't realize that Catholic Charities had a Veteran Services Center and that you guys did all that. And I tell them, yeah, we do. And also, you do not have to be Catholic to receive our services.
Welcome to the Falls Home Front, where Wichita Falls leads in North Texas real estate, business, and life. I'm Tim Lockhart. I'm a retired Air Force officer and realtor here in Wichita Falls. And whether you are PCSing to Shepherd Air Force Base, or retiring from the service, or relocating for work, or just wanting to understand where the market's headed, this podcast is for you. It's designed to give you real market insight, not just hype, but clarity. In today's episode, we're talking about resources that are available to support local veterans. Our guests today are Brian LaLonde, the Veterans Outreach Specialist with the Catholic Charities Fort Worth Veterans Services Center. And joining him is Rita Gauthier, Director of the Northwest Community Impact. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Brian, let's start with you. How did your 10 years in the Marine Corps shape your passion for serving veterans and what you do today in Wichita Falls?
So my 10 years in the Marine Corps really helped to shape my passion for helping veterans. After 10 years of service, you get out of the military, whether you did 4 years or 20 years, and you're really excited about your life as a civilian, and you are really just anxious to get out there and start your new life. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't know where to begin. You don't know where to look for resources, where to get help from. A lot of veterans struggle with that, adapting to life after. After 10 years of moving around the world, I have a wife and 2 kids, and I'm trying to find myself after my service. And I struggled for a while with employment, with making friends, with finding the stability that I needed to be able to settle down, provide for my family, and ultimately help find what it is that I wanted to do with my life. And that all changed once I joined Catholic Charities, a Veteran Services Center, and really got to see myself and a lot of the clients that we serve with the resources struggling, whether it's they just got out or they've been out for 10 or 15 years and they don't know who to turn to, where to turn to get the help that they need. And I've always had that passion for helping those veterans that I can relate to in the circumstances that they're in their life, whether it's looking for employment or trying to help them figure out what they want to do with the rest of their lives, or just getting them in touch with the resources that can help them with the financial assistance piece that we provide, referrals to different community resources. So it's really shaped my life for the better. Catholic Charity has helped me find that purpose in my life of helping veterans such as myself.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and there are lots of veterans organizations helping veterans. I'm not sure that Catholic Charities as an organization is one that comes to the top of mind and one of the first things people think about when they think about veteran services. Could you please help us to understand a little bit, what services does Catholic Charities Veteran Services Center provide, and how do they directly support veterans and low-income individuals in our community?
Sure. So I'll just start with Catholic Charities Fort Worth as a whole. We've been around since 1910. Our mission is to provide service to those in need, to advocate compassion and justice in the structures of society, and to call all people of goodwill to do the same. So we're really rooted in Catholic social teaching, honoring the life and dignity of every human being. And so just really serving people in need. And since 2013, we've served more than 3,100 veterans across our 28 county service area. And these are veterans, could be dependents of military, it could be active duty service members, spouse of deceased veterans. So we have a passion for veterans. I've worked with veterans for the last 30 or so years, and we really wanted to bring that to our Wichita Falls campus. And so we were able to open our Veteran Services Center in 2018. And just over the years, we've become the hub of, if somebody has a veteran that's in need, send them to Catholic Charities, and then we will vet that person. We will do an intake. We will find out all of the resources. And so that really has become our niche, is to serve veterans. And we do that through case management services. We have mental health counseling that we provide at no charge. We can provide some one-time financial assistance to clients. And then, like Brian said, people getting out of the military, sometimes they're lost. They don't know where to turn. So they just need somebody kind of to hold their hand and help them get to those resources. And so another thing that, we can do is provide some financial assistance if somebody's in need of that. And then longer term services if they are interested in, learning how to, their new normal with their new finances, that sort of thing. There's a lot of coaching that we can do around that as well.
That's great. I am sure a lot of people don't realize that there's all those different services available. So thanks for bringing those to us into this area.
Yeah, we get the deer in the headlights look with a lot of organizations when I do community outreach in Wichita Falls and the surrounding counties, and they look at me like, wow, I didn't realize that Catholic Charities had a Veteran Services Center and that you guys did all that. And I tell them, yeah, we do. And also, you do not have to be Catholic to receive our services. We can serve any denomination. And they're like, wow, that's amazing.
Oh, that's great. And thanks for that clarification, because some people might be asking that to themselves. So that's great. Yeah. What are some of the biggest barriers that military veterans face when transitioning out of the service? There were a couple that you mentioned for your life. Brian, what are some of the others that you see?
I feel like a lot of veterans, and even studies on veterans leaving the service, showing that a lot of them don't understand the benefits that they're entitled to. When you serve for any period of time, you may incur some type of disability, service-related disability. There's also a lot of state benefits as well, too, whether it's getting resources for discounts on your property taxes and things like that. And so a lot of them don't really understand those benefits. They have an idea that they may be there, that they may be able to qualify for some help because they are a veteran, but at the same time, they don't understand them, and they just don't know where to go to for that help. Going to which organizations are going to best be able to support their needs. And also, I think some of them are reluctant to seek help from, because other organizations that they may have talked to in the past might not have been able to assist them. Maybe those organizations didn't have the proper resources to be able to assist them. And that's where, through our community partnerships, that we've been able to really bridge that gap in the services and be able to help provide those resources. And a lot of veterans, some of them just prefer the face-to-face, hearing it from other veterans. And with myself being a veteran and our case manager, Janice McCullough, being an Air Force veteran, when they hear it from a veteran who's experienced it, who's lived it, who's taken part of those resources, they tend to trust you a lot more, and it makes for a better overall experience for them. And at the end of the day, they leave our office feeling more confident in their ability to be able to go out and get those benefits.
Yeah, and it's ingrained in our culture in the military, the being self-reliant, I got this, right? Not wanting to ask for help, and asking for help isn't a skill set that we get taught in the military. It's quite the opposite, right? So when we get out and find ourselves needing some help, sometimes it's just hard to ask.
Yeah, the best thing that I ever did was ask someone for help. After 5 years after I got out of the military, like I said, I didn't really understand the benefits. I didn't know where to go to for that help. I didn't really want that help. But since I've started here at Catholic Charities, I've learned about all the different resources and the benefits, and I'm able to help let organizations know that, hey, this is what we do. These are how we're able to help those veterans, give them that guidance on who they need to talk to start taking part in benefits.
And I think here locally, we have some great resources for veterans, and just a lot of resources that we never knew about. And so it's a learning process for us too, because we're here to fill in the gaps. So if a service isn't being met, that's what we want to look at and bridge that gap for that. So just over the last few years, we've really made some great partnerships with some national veteran organizations, as well as state, regional veteran agencies and organizations, just providing more services to the veterans that we serve.
That's great. Yeah, another perspective that a lot of people who don't have, they need to ask for help or they got something that they're struggling with. People offering help get a lot of benefit from being able to give and to help. And so when we don't ask for help, sometimes we're robbing another person of the blessing of being able to help us. And so I think that helps me sometimes when I'm facing something. If I don't ask for help, then that other person doesn't get the blessing of helping me, and vice versa. Like when I'm trying to help somebody and they don't want to receive the help, then I feel like I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, so true. Us with those servants' hearts, that's what we love to serve, and that's what fills our cup.
Yes. How can the Wichita Falls community better support veterans as they reintegrate into civilian life?
So I think just recognizing that the veterans, they served our country. Now it's time for us to give back to them with all the, like with the state, with hiring, the veterans preference. I think that's huge to give those veterans that preferential stature or whatever on job applications. I think that is huge. I think just recognizing we are a military community. We have Shepherd Air Force Base. We have so many great military people that they retire here because they were stationed here at one time. My father-in-law, for instance, when he got out of the military, he was not coming back to Texas, but his kids said, yes, we want to come back to Wichita Falls because they loved life at Shepherd Air Force Base. And here we are. So I think just that quality of life and just recognizing this wonderful community and how many veterans and the military folks that we have here giving back to our economy, thanks to Shepherd Air Force Base.
And I feel like a lot of organizations too are really now more understanding of some of the struggles that veterans can go through, whether it's looking for employment, adapting to jobs, and the things that they've done in their life are completely different than a normal civilian, their counterparts would have done. And so really understanding that, we have a lot more organizations where when we're out creating the awareness of the needs of our military veterans. And especially here in Wichita Falls, we've had a lot of great organizations that have really stepped up to help us with fulfilling those needs, whether it's mental health counseling or referrals, financial assistance or housing referrals, things like that. And so I really feel like the community of Wichita Falls, since I've been here 2017 until now, has really come together to support our veteran community.
Yeah, that's great. Now, could we go into a little bit more detail? What key resources are available for veterans here in Wichita Falls and the surrounding counties?
So really, anything that veteran needs, if we are not the resource provider, if we don't have a local resource provider, we are going to be in touch with the VA, whether that be in Lawton or Oklahoma City, to find those resources for our veterans. So that's what, think of us as sometimes a clearinghouse. Brian and our veterans case manager, they're every day, new opportunities, a veteran that's in need of a service that we've never provided. So we get on the phone, we do our research, we find out where can this veteran get this treatment or information or whatever they need, because there's not enough, I guess, time or resources for everybody to be everything. And so we have to work together holistically, all of our wonderful veteran organizations that we're a part of. Another thing we do, we have a Northwest Texas Veterans Coalition that meets monthly, and it's service providers from Texas, Oklahoma, just some national partners. And we're here to meet to find out what are the resources that our veterans need. Anytime we find a new resource, we want to share that with everyone, because we want everybody to have all of the information so that when they do encounter a veteran that has a need that we've never addressed, that we know where to go to get answers.
And I feel like the sharing of resources has definitely been something that Wichita Falls has really started to come together to do more, because Rita attested to the Northwest Texas Veterans Coalition. We meet monthly, and there's always someone bringing a new resource that someone else may not have known about. The sharing of those resources has been vital to our success collectively as a whole for Wichita Falls and our surrounding counties to be able to help our veterans that are in need. I've been to multiple outreaches where I've done outreach with an organization and they say, oh, did you know that so-and-so does this? And they have veterans here and they have people that need help here. And say, no, I did not. And so the sharing of that information has definitely benefited our veteran community.
That's great. Can you think of any recent stories of any veterans that you've helped that have particularly stand out in your mind?
There's quite a few of them, and we've had the wonderful privilege of being able to help. Last year, it was over 250 veterans served in Wichita County and the surrounding counties through our services. But there's one particular veteran that came to us last year, homeless, living out of his car, was ready to give up on his life. And through the dedication of our wonderful veterans case manager, Janice McCullough, she really has a passion for helping the veterans, just like we all do, but she just took it a step further and she connected them with resources. We got him in to see the VSOs to be able to start a disability claim. We got him the referral to housing to get him rehoused because he was living just out of his car. And in the last maybe about 7 or 8 months, he's joined the local American Legion post here in Wichita Falls and really just thrived. And I sat in the office one day with him and our case manager, and he looked at us and he said, "Thank you guys so much, because I don't trust a lot of people, but I trust you guys, and I trust what you've done for me, and I'm thankful for what you've done for me." And to me, at the end of the day, that's the icing on top of the cake, is just knowing that we helped a veteran who was literally on the verge of giving up on his own self and on his life. And to see him now is definitely something that brings great joy to all of us when we've all met veterans in our lives that we've helped out that have left an impact on our lives.
Yeah, he's just thriving now. He's got an income coming in. He's got a vehicle. He's got a dog, and just full of life. And that is so rewarding.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, so you talked about some of the partnerships that you have. How does the Northwest Texas Veterans Coalition strengthen support through the partnerships?
Now, I think we're all better together, and just learning how to work outside of silos has been tremendous, because there's not an organization that serves veterans that has enough capacity or money to be able to do everything. So this coalition has really brought us all together to work together, like Brian said, to share resources. We try to have a speaker come to our meetings most months to give us information on something new. Like this month, it's going to be Operation Homefront. They are starting to serve veterans in the military community in our area, and we want to share that information. So we've got some great national partners, but we've also got statewide partners and even local folks that people don't know about, because everybody's the I guess least known secret out there sometimes.
That's good. Thank you. There's an event that you said before we started recording that you have coming on. What role does the annual Military Veterans Resource Fair play in connecting veterans with services?
So Catholic Charities started this event back 5 years ago. We had a tent in the back of our office in the parking lot. So we started small, and just over time has just become just a wonderful resources, both for the community as a whole, for the military community and veterans alike. But it's also just a lot of resource sharing. So this year we probably are expecting to have about 70 vendors set up for the event. And it's networking for them too. Every year people come up to me and say, "Man, this is as good for us as an organization as it is for the veterans and the military folks that come to check all the booths." And I'll let Brian tell everybody a little more about the event and when it's going to be.
And so our 5th annual Military and Veteran Resource Fair is going to be on April the 16th of this year at the 10th and Broad Church of Christ inside the Family Life Center. That's going to be happening from 1 to 4 p.m. And it's a great opportunity for our veterans to come out and just see what type of resources there are out there available for them, because I guarantee you we'll have a resource out there available that the veteran may have not known about before. Like last year, for the first time, we had the Wounded Warrior Project. So the Wounded Warrior Project, for example, they serve post 9/11 veterans, and they can do things like send you on a baseball game, help you with your VA claims, VA related issues, and just to provide a resource for anything that you can think of. And then we have our other partner organizations that we've really tailored the resource fair to be a way for veterans to be able to get a lot of those resources that are going to be beneficial for them, not just a resource that they say, I don't need this. You may not need it now, but you may need it later. And at least creating that awareness, like Rita talked about the resources that are available. And it was fantastic. Last year, we had over 100 veterans in attendance, and we had a veteran come from Duncan, Oklahoma. And that's a pretty good distance away. And he said, yeah, I saw it on the news and I wanted to come check it out. And I said, did you find something that what you were looking for? And he said, oh yeah, I did. I went over here and got to talk face to a VA representative that was there that was able to assist him with his VA claim stuff. So it's a wonderful opportunity for those veterans to come out and get some great resources.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. When is that again?
It's going to be Thursday, April the 16th. And it's at the 10th and Broad Church of Christ inside the Family Life Center.
What time?
It's going to be from 1 to 4 p.m.
1 to 4 p.m. Perfect. All right. Thank you. So if people want to find out more about the services that you provide or connect with you, how do they contact you?
So they can go to our website, catholiccharities.nw.org, or just call or come by our office. We are located at 907 Holiday Street. It's our Client Services and Veteran Services Center. Our phone number is 940-716-9669.
That's great. Thank you. And to everyone listening, thank you for being part of the Falls Home Front. I'm Tim Lockhart, and I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you tuning in. Want more insider tips on buying, selling, and investing in Wichita Falls and North Texas? Subscribe now and keep watching. Your next move starts here.